All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry to halt your great conversations. Glad you're all kind of reconnecting after the holidays. My name is Leah Ashford, and I'm one of the founding members of Inspire. Happy to have all of you guys here today. Our purpose for this is to give working women a chance to get away from the busyness of their everyday, to learn something new, to connect with some new people, to be inspired and to be encouraged. So I hope you feel like that on this gray day today as you are here and then head back out again into your life in January. How many of you guys are having a hard time kind of rolling into the new year? Anybody else? It just feels, I don't know if it's the gray or what it is, but you know, in December I set some of my resolutions and I was all excited to jump in and get rolling, and then it was like, maybe not January 2nd. I should still, you know, kind of clean up and do whatever, and somehow rolled into this week. But this week I got started on a new eating plan and everything, and then I've already kind of messed it up a bit. And but what I'm telling myself, I'm like, okay, even if it's slow going, I still have done better than I did in December. And telling myself, just get up the next day, do it again, next week, start again, whatever it takes, just keep going. Because I don't know about you guys, I've had some years where it's like, oh, I messed it up already, oh well, I can't do this. But this year I'm telling myself, just keep at it, just keep doing it. And so I want to encourage you guys with that as well. So what we're talking about today, if any of you guys saw the title in the ad out there, is the power of a positive no. And what we like to talk about at Inspire is the importance of being intentional. You've probably heard that through several different speakers and things that we do. We all start to go crazy with our lives. We're all running. We're all doing what's urgent, what's right in front of us, what needs to be done. And all of a sudden you'll look up and it's June. It was January, now it's June. Or you look up and it's like 3 years later. You're like, what happened? And so we want to try to give people some tips and tools and skills to help you be more intentional, to make sure you're making time and focusing on the things that really matter to you. And of course, in order to be able to do that, you're going to have to say no to some things, to say yes to the things that really matter to you. So I've been reading a book that's called The Power of a Positive No. And that is based on a process that it actually is a yes, no, yes. And they draw it like a tree. So I'm going to give you an example here. Let me get a couple different. So if your no would be like the strong trunk of a tree, you're saying no to something that you need to say no to. I know for those of you who just started eating, I'm sorry. You'll have to turn back and forth. And in order to have a stronger no, you need to know what your yes is. Those are the roots. That's kind of the foundation of your no. What is your positive yes? So you want more time with your family, there are things you're going to have to say no to. So that more time with your family is your positive yes, and confirming what that is, to then make it easier to say no. But the person who wrote this book I've been reading, his name is William Ury, U-R-Y, and he's a negotiator between like the rebels in South America and a country, between opposing countries in Africa, that kind of thing, like a top negotiator. He says, in order to have a no that's going to last, that's significant, you also need to end with branches that go out to the other person, branches of respect, branches of empathy, in order to kind of end with a yes, question mark. Like, could we instead, I'm saying no to this, but instead, could we this? Could we do something different? So this is the basic format that we're going to use today for the process that I'm going to have you guys actually do, an activity to kind of walk through this. And of course, in his book, there's a whole lot of information about how to state your no, how to figure out your yes, how to find another solution to keep your relationship going. I'm going to focus on one piece of it today. And so I could have titled this, The Power of a Creative Solution for Something You'd Rather Not Do. It's a long title to put in an ad, but that's what we're going to do today, is look on how can you come up with a lot of different solutions here to help empower your no. And so what I'd like you guys to do is start to think about what all do you have on your plate. We're all busy. We all have a lot to do. So when you think about in the midst of your day, your week, your month, what are all the different things that are swirling around on your plate? So committee meetings, carpool, not just work, but what are the different projects at work that you have to do, spreadsheets, budgets, reports, groceries, laundry, all those, vacuuming, whatever it might be. What are all those different things that you have on your plate? And then I'd like you guys, if you would, even in the midst of your eating, grab a paper plate from the middle of the table, hand it out so everybody has their own paper plate. Grab a pen. So hand out a paper plate and a pen to everybody at the table. So as you're thinking about your plate and you have your pen, I'd like to have you guys write down on that plate what are 3 to 5 things that if you didn't have to do, you'd be so happy. What are the 3 to 5 things that you don't like the most on your plate? Whether or not you think you can get rid of them, whether or not you think you should get rid of them, just write down what are the 3 to 5 things that you don't like, that you have to do. And I'd like to challenge you to even think, as I was thinking of all the different options and all the different things people have to do, sometimes there are things like taking your parent to doctor visits. And there are things like that that you're like, it breaks up my week, it makes it hard maybe to go get kids at daycare, whatever it may be. But it's the thing on your plate that you're like, but I'm the daughter, I should do this. But I would like you guys to think of these, if it is making life difficult, we're going to come up with some creative solutions. So do put on your list the things that are making life either more difficult or the things you'd rather not do if you didn't have to do. Your budget, forget it. Right. Whatever. But if you don't like it, we can come up with solutions, right? So I'll give you time to think. 3 to 5 things. Write them in the middle. Write them on one side. Actually, if you want to draw a line down the middle, write your 3 to 5 things on the left. Okay, does everybody have at least 3 things? 3. I'm looking. Back table, do you guys have at least 3 things? Everybody? Okay, so now I'd like you to circle the top thing that you'd like to get rid of. The thing that bugs you the most, bothers you the most. Does everybody have their top things circled? Okay, so now what I'm going to ask you to do, but I'm going to show you an example first before I have you do it, is I want you to come up with then 5 to 10 different ways of doing that other than you doing it. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Let's say somebody's no is doing the dishes. It annoys them, they don't like it, and mainly, so then they have to think about why is it they don't like it. And it's because, so in my example, this person ends up stuck in the kitchen when the rest of the family goes to the family room and they're watching a movie or doing whatever and they're stuck in the kitchen. And so to think of it more positively, what is their positive yes? It is that they want to be involved with the family. They want more family time. So that's their yes. Their positive yes to fuel their no. So they want to come up with what are some other ways we can handle the dishes besides me being the one who has to do them. So I'm going to ask you guys for ideas. So what's another thing this person could do? Hire a maid. Yep. What else? Paper plates. Yes. Woohoo. What else? I love it. So involve the family, and that can be just everybody doing it together, or I heard somebody say take turns. Yep. Take turns. Yes, everybody's responsible for their own plate. That's, individual responsibility. You could find out who likes to do what the most. If one person likes to clear, they clear. One person likes the dishwasher because they like it in a certain order. We know those people. Yeah. Then they get to do the dish, and then another person empties it. Yep. So look, you've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ideas for how you could manage this besides you being the one stuck in the kitchen every day doing the dishes. So this is what I want you guys to do for yourselves with what you have that you've circled, is come up with at least 5 to 10 ideas, other ways of handling it, and be as crazy as you can. So I love you said paper plates, because I actually was thinking this through, planning this, and I thought of laundry. What are different options for laundry? And certainly taking turns, or each person's responsible for their own. And I thought, well, you could just throw your clothes away every time. Wear them, throw them away. Wear them, throw them away. And then that's what made me think of paper plates for dishes. It's like, if there's an option for throwing something away, or, you know, I don't know, disposable clothes, we start getting paper clothes, anyway. But options, right? So even if it's a crazy idea, go ahead and put it down. In fact, be crazy, because it might lead you to an idea that works, like paper plates. Because you can't throw your dishes away, but you can throw paper plates away. So, okay, let me give you some time. Do this on your own first, and then I'll have you get help from somebody next to you, or help from the table. Well, let me ask you guys, if some of you guys are finding it hard to think of ideas, can you share with me some of what makes it hard? Is it only, not just because your brain is numb, but is some of it because you feel like, but I'm supposed to do it because it's mine? Is anybody struggling with that? Yeah? No? Okay, good. No? What else might make it hard to look for other ideas? Yeah. You're like, I can't hand it off to a child, or could it be you're anticipating pushback from the people you want to involve? That could be part of it. So let me encourage you, though, first just think of every idea you can, and then you can find a way to pick the best idea or figure out a way to deal with some of the issues that might come up because of your idea. And if you need to involve somebody next to you, grab somebody next to you, because they may not have the same emotion or the same attachment to your task that you do, and so they might come up with better ideas for you. So grab a partner, grab somebody next to you, and get their ideas too. Okay, guys, I want to hear some of your ideas. So who'd like to share? Who'd be willing to share one of the things you'd like to get rid of and some of the ideas you came up with? Either you or your partner helped you come up with. Yeah? Oh. Okay. Corinne, do you have anything?
Well, I don't like grocery shopping.
Okay, grocery shopping. So what are your ideas?
So I could eat out.
Every meal? Yep.
Order online? Yes, I could order online. I could do meal delivery service. I could hire someone to cook. Or I could let go of my control issues and have my husband do it.
There you go. Would he be willing to?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I like that one. Yeah. Okay. Who else? Yes.
Exercising.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of the things was working out with others that will make it more fun to enjoy exercising. Set a set schedule for myself. This is what I'm going to do at this time and enjoy that. And a little reward myself. Whatever it can be done. And just more how I like, not the same exercise all the time. Put that park bar, like parking farther away,
Right.
stairs, little things like that.
Yeah, change it
what
up.
I don't consider it exercise, it's just something I naturally do, and don't look at it as exercise, but other things routine.
Right. I like that. So if it's something that you don't like necessarily, but you know you should keep doing for your health or whatever it may be, finding creative solutions to make it better for yourself is good. I read something I really liked recently that said, actually a great book called The Four Tendencies, which says there are some people who naturally will want to meet their own goals and meet the expectations of others. There are some people who will meet the expectations of others but can never meet their own expectations for themselves. They'll let themselves off the hook. There are some people who will only meet their own expectations. Like, I've got to agree that this is a good thing or I'm not doing it. And then there are some people who can't meet either or rebel against both. But I liked for those people who usually will meet external expectations, but somehow let themselves off the hook for whether it's eating or exercising or whatever, they said that finding something where the other person can't do something unless you show up. So if you're meeting somebody to walk and they won't go walking without you, or they actually said if you trade shoes, so they would trade shoes at the gym. So the other person couldn't work out because they didn't have their other shoe unless you show up. There's an option to make sure you get there and you show up. So there's lots of different good ideas out there. Yeah. Who else has one they'd like to share? Yeah.
I have just cleaning and chores.
Of course. Yeah.
I have my son do more chores with me. Zippy. Set up a weekly schedule so I can be like, I do this on this day, this on this day,
so it's not all.
overwhelming, and
Yeah.
I spend an entire day cleaning.
Yeah.
Hire a maid, probably not going to happen. Get rid of everything.
Right. Empty house. Minimalism. There you go. The tidying up, the joy of, yeah.
It doesn't happen if you have nothing. And then make it fun with music and games and things like that, like dancing while doing beach boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I saw something really neat was if you're watching a show, when a commercial comes on, everybody scatters and cleans as quickly as possible, and then you come back because you're doing something instead of just sitting there while the commercial's playing.
I like that. Yeah. I also have found some music, that kind of thing, but I found my sister, when we will call each other and we talk for about an hour, I get bored just sitting there. So I found I get a lot of cleaning done while I'm talking to my sister on the phone. And so I started thinking, who can I call so I can get my dishes done? Yeah. So lots of great ideas. Okay, so now what I'd like you guys to do is, from your list of ideas, circle the one you think you'll actually implement. What are you going to move forward with? And the maid one, even though you think maybe you can't afford it, some people only do it once a month, have a maid in and do deep cleaning. And then they plan their parties and everything around when the maid comes and their events and things like that. And they just do spot clean, in between. Options. You can also, I'm sorry, I can't help but give ideas. So you can also share with a friend. Some friend likes to do window cleaning, you don't. You can trade off, lots of different options that don't cost anything. I've often thought, like, if you want to intentionally have a date night and you either don't have the money for babysitting or whatever, having a co-op of friends who share, that all the kids go to one house one Friday night a month and the other 3 couples get to have date night and trade off. Anyway, okay, go to circle the thing that you think you will try to implement. One more step I want to have you guys do, which is now if you think, okay, here's the one I'm going to try to implement and do, talk to the person next to you about any concerns you have about making that happen. What's going to make that hard? What's going to make that difficult? And then get their second level creative ideas for how to make that work. Okay? Okay, guys, let me pull you back out of your conversations for a second. I'm hearing a lot of great ideas. And I'm like, how does it feel to think creatively about this? Doesn't it? It's amazing how so often when we feel inside of ourselves, I don't like this, I wish I didn't have to do this, you have something you feel like you'd like to say no to, often what we tell ourselves is, no, I just need to buckle down, I just need to power through, I just need to be stronger, better, more, something. Instead of maybe asking ourselves, okay, what's driving this no? Is there something down here in my values that's maybe getting cut off or violated or I'm not getting the time for? And so you want to ask yourself when you start to have that feeling, is there something I'm wanting to protect that I'm not being able to protect? Is there something that needs to change and I'm starting to feel that there needs to be a change here? Or is it something that you're actually feeling like you want to create? It's like, I think somebody said habit back there. Sometimes you just get in habits and you're like, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something different. And you're starting to feel that. It's okay to take some time to figure out what is that thing and to make sure it's a positive. What is it I'm trying to protect? What is it I want to create? What is that positive thing I want to do to help you go, okay, I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to find other ways to manage it, handle it, whether it's just let it go and do something new, or if it's find a whole new way to do it, this is a way to help you empower this no. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this today, and I hope it gets you thinking. And I would encourage you, as you start to find these things happening, and maybe you start to come up with what some of your ideas are, but you're not getting that many, call a friend, grab a friend, go to coffee, say, I have something I'm trying to find a solution for, you want to help me brainstorm. And I would challenge you, when you're brainstorming, don't just do your top 3 things, always try to find at least 10, maybe 15 different ways to do it, because usually your first 2, 3 ideas aren't your best ideas. It's your 5th idea, it's your 10th idea. As you start to combine things and put things together, that's going to be your best idea. And then also grab a friend to help you think through, okay, how do I actually make this happen? It might take some time, it might take some effort, it might take some convincing. There might be some pains along the way as people complain about doing their own dishes, whatever it is, but stick with it. Because, again, the more you know what your yes is, what you're trying to accomplish, it's going to help you manage through that difficult transition. There's always a transition as you make change to get to a more positive yes. Wonderful. Thank you guys for being here today. Yes.